Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2024 college football predictions week 5, where I take 16 of the top 25 games and I tell you who's going to win and who's going to lose. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. Without further ado, let's get to our first matchup of the week. We have the number 21 ranked Oklahoma Sooners as they're going to be going on the road into Jordan-Hare Stadium to take on the Auburn Tigers. And Oklahoma did show some life in the fourth quarter last week against Tennessee, putting up 12 points. I think Oklahoma gets back to their winning ways. I don't think Auburn's going to do much this year, unfortunately. And honestly, I just think Oklahoma's offense and their defense is going to be too much for Auburn. I'm picking the Oklahoma Sooners to beat the Auburn Tigers. In our next matchup, we have number 20 Oklahoma State Cowboys going on the road into Manhattan as they are at number 23 Kansas State. And this is going to be a very fun matchup to watch. If you want to tune in for any particular game this week, this is probably going to be one of the ones where you do two very even teams. Both teams can run, both teams can pass, and I just think Kansas State has a lot more to prove after their blowout loss to BYU last week. So at the end of the day, I think the Kansas State Wildcats beat the Oklahoma State Cowboys. In our next matchup, we have number 18 Iowa State Cyclones going on the road to face the Houston Cougars. And honestly, I really like this Iowa State team. They're coming in and they're beating opponents by a lot that they're supposed to beat by a lot. And now they find themselves number 18 in the country. I don't think this week is going to be any exception for the Cyclones. I think they continue to show the world that they could make the college football playoffs. I'm picking the Iowa State Cyclones to beat the Houston Cougars. In our next matchup, we have the Stanford Cardinal going on the road into Death Valley to take on the Clemson Tigers. And I think Clemson is going to have a lot to prove in this matchup as well. I think that they've been doing excellent since the loss to Georgia to start the year. And I think Stanford is going to have a long way to go to prove they're contenders in the ACC. I think Clemson goes in offensive, defensive, special teams. They all play well this week. And I'm picking the Clemson Tigers to beat the Stanford Cardinal. Up next on the 2024 College Football Prediction Show, we have number 15 Louisville Cardinal. They're going to be going on the road into South Bend to take on number 16 Notre Dame. And I think that this matchup is going to be very close, similar to the Oklahoma State-Kansas State game. I think this is a match that a lot of people are going to want to see. I think the offenses are going to come out and perform. I think the defenses are going to do great as well. I do think that this will be an average scoring game, maybe 28-24, 31-28. I think it's going to be very close, but I'm picking Notre Dame to beat Louisville. In our next matchup, we have South Alabama as they are going on the road into Baton Rouge to take on number 14 LSU. And I think this game could be a lot closer than people think. I mean, we can't just look at South Alabama and think, jobber because they're facing LSU. Like South Alabama dropped 87 points on Northwestern State a few weeks ago. We can't forget that. And LSU, on the other hand, they're going to be at home. They're going to be favored by a lot. I do think LSU gets the win, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. But I'm picking the Tigers to beat South Alabama. In our next matchup, we have the Wisconsin Badgers going on the road to face the number 13 ranked USC Trojans. And I think Wisconsin has been struggling. Their strength of schedule has been extremely difficult already playing Alabama this year. And I think Wisconsin continues to struggle in this game. I think USC wins and wins by a good bit. I'm picking the Trojans to beat the Badgers. In our next matchup, we have the Minnesota Golden Gophers going on the road into Ann Arbor as they are at number 12, Michigan. And I think Michigan does well this week. I think that Michigan struggled against hard opponent like Texas about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but they really proved themselves in their rebound game against USC. And I think Minnesota is going to really struggle in this game. I'll be surprised if they get any points on the board. I'm picking the Michigan Wolverines to stomp the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Up next on the 2024 College Football Prediction Show, we have the Arizona Wildcats going on the road as they're going to be at number 10 Utah Utes. And Arizona did start the year in the top 25, but were getting shellacked and knocked out by Kansas State Wildcats. Now, I think Arizona will play well in this game. I think they're going to get up a few scores. I think it'll be pretty entertaining for the first half, but I think Utah comes into their own in the second half, and I'm picking the Utah Utes to beat the Arizona Wildcats. In our next matchup, another game that's going to be very good. Number 19 undefeated Illinois Fighting Illini go on the road into Happy Valley to take on number 9 Penn State. And this has the potential to be a back and forth game for all 4 quarters. I think both teams will drop at least 40 points in this game. I think it's going to be very high scoring. And I think Illinois will be trying to answer Penn State at every turn, and I think whoever has the ball last will win this game, as I'm picking the Penn State and Indy Lions to beat the Illinois Fighting Illini. In our next matchup, we have number 8 Oregon going on the road to face the UCLA Bruins, and I think Oregon continues to do what they've been doing this year. Now, and they started out with a couple of close games, but then really proved how dominant they could be when they went to Corvallis. Now they're going on the road again here, and I think they continue to prove that. I'm picking the Oregon Ducks to beat the UCLA Bruins. In our next matchup, we have the Virginia Tech Hokies going on the road into Hard Rock Stadium to take on the number 7 ranked Miami Hurricanes. And Virginia Tech has struggled this season, and I mean right out the gate struggling, losing to Vanderbilt out of all teams. And things have not been good in Blacksburg for the Hokies at all. And now they have to go on the road and face one of the nation's best offenses in Miami. I think their defense is going to collapse. I expect the Canes to put up at least 50 points. And I think Miami is going to rout Virginia Tech. Up next on the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 5 show, we have the Kentucky Wildcats going on the road into Oxford as they are at number 6 Mississippi Rebels. And honestly, I don't think Kentucky is going to be that good this year, considering the stacked SEC that they're in right now. And Mississippi is going to run roughshod over this Kentucky defense. I think Jackson Dart has at least 3 touchdown passes in this game. And I'm picking number 6 Mississippi to put the beat down on Kentucky. And our next matchup, we have number 3 Ohio State going on the road into East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans. And I do think that this game is going to be pretty close for the first quarter, or maybe up to halftime. But then Ohio State, I think, is just going to put the burners on. They're just going to give the ball to Judkins, and see how much yardage they can amass on the ground. I think the more they run the football, the more it helps Ohio State. And I'm picking the Buckeyes to beat the Michigan State Spartans. In our next matchup, our biggest matchup of the week, in my opinion, this is where Titans collide as number 2 Georgia going on the road into Tuscaloosa to take on Jalen Milroe and number 4 Alabama. And this has the makings to be a classic. I think this could be the best college football game of the year. It's definitely the best matchup we have thus far. And I think both Carson Beck for Georgia and Jalen Milroe for Alabama are going to show out. I think that the defenses are going to surprisingly give up more points than you'd expect. But I think that Georgia is just a more complete team right now. Now, if Nick Saban was still in Alabama, I'd probably pick Bama. But Saban's gone. Alabama's still figuring it out, while Georgia's got it all put together. So I'll give me the Georgia Bulldogs to beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. In our last matchup of the week, the Mississippi State Bulldogs go on the road into Austin to take on number 1 Texas. And honestly, I think that Texas is number 1 for a reason. For the second week in a row, they've been great throwing the ball, whether it's Quentin Ewers or Arch Manning. Both quarterbacks have proven that they can get the job done when put in the starting role. And I think the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns gets to their 3rd straight week at the top rank, as I'm picking the Texas Longhorns to beat the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And that was the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 5, where I, Nikki D, broke down all who I think is going to win and all who I think is going to lose. We're going to find out this weekend. Let me know down in the comment section below what your favorite game for Week 5 is. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nikki D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hundreds of hours of videos that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'm Nikki D. This is the Nikki D channel, and I will see all of y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.